Like father, like son, there would be trouble at paradise by Diane Allen. About Diane Allen. Diane Allen was born in Leeds, but raised at her family's farm deep in the Yorkshire Dales. After working as a glass engraver, raising a family, and looking after an ill father, she found her true niche in life, joining a large print publishing firm in 1990. Rising through the firm, she is now the general manager and has recently been made the honorary vice president of the Romantic Novelists Association. Diane and her husband Ronnie live in the Long Preston in the Yorkshire Dales and have two children and four beautiful grandchildren. Synopsis of the story. From birth, Polly Harper seems destined for tragedy. Raised by her loving grandparents on Paradise Farm, she is unknowingly tangled in a web of secrecy regarding her parentage. When she falls in love with local landowner of disrepute, her and Annie's grandparents send her to work in a dairy. There she becomes instantly drawn to the handsome man Dinsdale, propelling her further into the depths of forbidden romance and dark family secrets. But when tragedy strikes, Polly is forced to confront the past and decide the fate of her future. Will she lose everything, or will she finally realize that her roots and love lie in the paradise? Garsdale in the Yorkshire Dales, November 1886. Danny Harper was now ready to leave his family and the Paradise Farm, where he was born. He climbed on the broad stream that was standing at the Hawaii Junction, half hoping that his father would come rushing off the steep incline of the station hill and come back him to come home, or perhaps ask him to sit down in the cozy kitchen of the Paradise Farm and talk it through like two grown men. But he knew that was not going to happen. His father and mother might have not even waken up to see his note that was on the cluttered kitchen table. He wasn't proudly living a life of drudgery and toil, and trying hard to make a living in the Dales, small holding while raising a family. Old Bones, the station master, blew the whistle, and the jolt of the carriages told Danny there was no turning back. He had done it now. He had left. No matter what had happened, this was the start of his new life, and every shunt and blow of the steam gave more haste to the engine's power. The tickets he is carrying in his pockets are the most valuable tickets. This was only the first part of his journey, and knew this line like the back of his hand. But after he changed trains at Canforth, he would not know the line at all. He had thought about stopping at Liverpool. Once his mother had told him that his father's close relative lives in Liverpool. He had even helped his father to send kits full of milk on the train, when his aunt had been short of, for her to supply to the townspeople. His best friend Bill Sunter had helped him acquire the tickets, arguing Danny not to get got out with a wife and a baby like he had, and Bill had been all too happy to listen to how grand Danny's new life could be in the promised land. sat back in the corner of the carriage and listened to the clatter of the train as it picked up speed down the track. He felt a pang of guilt as he thought about what he had done. His mother would be first in the household, finding the letter after she had lit the fire and put the kettle on to the boil and then shouted to him and his father to get up. He imagined tears as she read was that he had left without giving any explanation, and then he imagined his father's anger as he realized that not only had his son disappeared, but he had taken all of his father's savings from the tin cash box that was always kept under lock. But most of all he thought of Peggy, the girl he had thought he loved until a few months ago. But what a blow she had struck him when she said she was having his child, a baby, with him only 22 and with so much to do, yet that he did not want to be tied down with a father-in-law nagging at him and a child around his feet. There was nowhere he was going to wed Peggy, no matter how sweet she was. His maid Bill was a prime example, with his missus nagging him and baby crawling around his feet. He was doing the right thing. He would find work, perhaps make his way across the big new country, even find a bit of land and buy it, make something of himself. It would be better than scratching about on a small holding of Grantsdale or Dent, just about managing to put food in his family's mouth from day to day. He would send his father his money back and more besides. His mother would forgive him. After all, she hung on his every word. And Peggy? Well, she might not be his child anyway, for that Coates boy was always making eyes at her, though it probably was his. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.